elms have a crooked leaf, an inequilateral leaf. Remember what that means from basswood? It's crooked, inequilateral. If you fold it, it's not symmetrical. You can see how lopsided that is. Some you're going to see later, like American elm, even the base, they don't come together right. Like you draw it and you come together, and it didn't match up. So even the bottoms don't come together at the same place on elms. But this one, they're together it's an equilateral base, but the whole leaf is crooked. And so elms have that. Elms also have a tendency, the reason I was looking for one, I was trying to get one that kind of had good tendencies, but they'll have a zigzag twig, kind of like redbud had, that way, and that way, and that way, and that way, kind of go like that. And then their terminal bud, some of you are in well, you've heard this out here too. It's a false terminal bud, a pseudo-terminal bud. Literally, the terminal bud is just the last lateral bud that kind of made it before the weather and the light got too short, right? And so the terminal bud will often not be symmetrically straight up. This is the twig alignment. The terminal bud will be like this. But it's actually a lateral bud, so it'll be a little off to the side. One other thing that all elms have is I have a sketch from yesterday. They have what's called dichotomous branching. And dichotomous branching is how I have it drawn there. It's a dichotomy. 2 go to 4, 4 go to 8, 8 go to 16, 16 goes to 32. And then picture that in 3 dimensions, not flat on a sheet of paper. And you get forms that kind of go out as a spraying like waterhead. They kind of go out like that in all directions. And you can see, you look at that one. See the form going out? That's from the dichotomous 2. There always isn't it's not perfect, it's a tree, okay? There's variability, right? 2, there's 2, 2. And then you might go, there's only one. It's not perfect, but they're known for dichotomous branching. And American elm was actually famous for it because they were American elm's a very large tree, and it would, if you planted them on both sides of a city street, it would grace and actually touch in the middle and form big, huge tunnels almost. They also, the elms, have a samara as a fruit. And it's not like you think with maple, the nice flying helicopter. The seed's dead in the middle with a little leafy, dry wing all the way around. It looks like a little wafer. And they don't fly as much as they kind of just blow like parade confetti. I mean, they get very dry and they can go great distances when the wind catches them. So the elms all have a fruit that looks pretty much like that. Now, if you really get expert, you want to spend some time, you can actually identify the elms just by their fruits. American elm is really fuzzy, slippery elm is not. One of them is fuzzy in the middle, one has a fuzzy edge, one has a deep notch. But they all are basically that shape. That brings me to Chinese elm. Here's the first thing I'll say. This is the only one, you ever hear that phrase? There were like 3 times last week where I kept saying, this is the only one. And I said, you should be writing that when you hear only one. This is the only one that you're going to learn that has fruit this time of year. All the others are super early spring. Like they're actually gone before spring semester's over. Like we usually can even find some spring semester, and we're out here probably March, beginning of March. It's probably when we're standing here. And there's usually some brown ones still around, or certainly lots on the ground. You can see them already. There's some drying and falling on the ground. Now they're really, so that's a big only one. Another one that's a really good one is this bark. Okay, it's outrageous, and that's one reason it gets planted. It produces very intricate shapes that come off. Some that'll even be almost jigsaw puzzle-like. You could match them up almost. and so it makes a good aesthetic tree even in the winter. They are probably the smallest leaves you're going to get of an elm. Maybe a tie with Siberian elm, which we'll get later too today. But they're very small leaves. They're very small twigs and very small buds. Again, maybe tied with Siberian. You might think, uh-oh, it sounds like I might mix it with Siberian. Well, the bark is not at all